Today, Jesus sends his disciples on mission and tells them that they will encounter opposition. This passage and others like it are those things that kind of give me a good kick in the pants whenever I get into this place where I'm saddened because I feel like, spreading the gospel isn't easy enough, or that I'm not getting enough buy-in here or there. And Jesus tells us, he tells his disciples, that there will necessarily be opposition to the gospel. Not that everyone will reject it, but that there will absolutely be rejection. I think that when the gospel is preached with power and with love, it sometimes can awaken in us those places that we have not given over to the Lord, and those places where we've even allowed the evil spirit to work in our lives, and that spirit rejects the gospel. It just totally rails against it. And so those are those places whenever we hear something maybe that is preached that we know is true, but we don't like it. Those are those things, those places that need to be given over to the Lord. But Jesus says that those who persevere, those who endure will be saved. Those who endure to the end will be saved. This is the truth of our life as Christians. It's not that there's a one moment that everything becomes clear and then we know that we're good to go and that we never question anything anymore. But there's a daily endurance that goes with this. That this daily commitment to preach the gospel, knowing that we are probably going to be opposed for doing it. I've been reading this book for about a year or more called Ensino Jesu. It's all revelation from Jesus to a Benedictine monk that only happened about 10 years ago. And he continues to reveal more of himself to this monk throughout the book. It's beautiful writing. I would highly recommend this book. But he says this today in what I read. Jesus says, I offer my cross to souls, but I never impose it. And when a soul begins to say yes to the sweet and terrible exigencies of my love, I fit my cross to her shoulders and then help her to carry it step by step, increasing its weight only as the soul grows in love and in the fortitude that comes from the Holy Spirit. Jesus gives us more of the cross as we are able to accept it, or as we've chosen to accept it. Not that suffering is something that the Lord gives to us, but that he allows us to feel the suffering of his heart when we are willing to suffer with him. He doesn't give us the cross unless we ask. We all know that suffering is going to be a part of our lives. So when we unite it to Jesus, there is a sweetness in it. Let's ask the Lord today for that endurance, for that patience, for that fortitude, so that we might carry the cross with him each day, step by step, and endure to the end so as to be saved.